Hey ladies, how's it going? Dan Frampton here, and today, no more goofing, no more gaffing. It's time to get a little bit serious, because all my videos are a little bit lighthearted in nature, and that's designed like that on purpose because I like to not take things too seriously. You can't just ignore the elephant in the room, okay? So I gotta talk about the dark side of the scene. Completely unironically, it would be absolutely evil for me to talk about this stuff in an ironic nature. Today we're talking about some legitimate monsters. However, these are all just allegations, and these rumors have been around for a pretty long time. And as we'll go through this, you'll see that some of them are a little bit more than rumors. And I'll try to disclose as much as I can as we go through this. But I am not an expert. I haven't done any investigative journalism with all of this. But it is important just to talk about the weight, the gravity, the depth of this topic. And this topic might get me demonetized on YouTube, but that's okay because that is not what this video is for. Hell, I'm not even gonna turn monetization on for this video because that's just not fair. So as you can see here, we have it pulled up on Google. This is when that dude, Nick Hartkopp from that band, McCafferty, got outed by a member of his band with all sorts of abusive behaviors. It says here that the former band member Evan Graham made an Instagram post exposing Nick for multiple serious accusations of racism, queerphobia, emotional and physical harassment, financial harassment, abuse, and more. And there are a lot of receipts about all this stuff. And my guy over here on YouTube, Nate the Mate, did a 3-part series documenting all of this, and then a 4th part claiming that McCafferty was actually back. So if you want to know more about this particular subject, I think that you should go over here to youtube.com/Nate the Mate. So I've been poking around the internet, and anytime anyone brings up any sort of accusation, they always bring up this Pete Wentz rumor. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this rumor goes, when Pete Wentz was 23, he was dating a 15-year-old. Now, I personally don't know if that's the truth. I didn't follow those breadcrumbs. But all I know is there's a couple websites on here dedicated to the matter. You keep going down here, and then there's this website, Pop Punk Powder Puff. Pete Wentz is an abuser. Let's talk about it. And this whole website called Searching for Truth about pw.card.co. But if you're looking at this, you can't really call this a reputable source. This is just like the ramblings of a 15-year-old girl on the internet is what this comes across as. These rumors have been going around for a very long time. And talking about pop punk rumors that have been going around for way too long is this rumor about Simple Plan that back in the day they had like this competition to see who could get physical with the youngest person on tour, if you know what I mean, which is pretty gut-turning and disgusting if true. But what is considered to be more widely true is that their bassist was just accused of some stuff and he resigned from the band. I don't know how to pronounce his French last name, but basically it goes like this. David, bassist from the band Simple Plan, resigned from the group Thursday after he was accused on social media of predatory behavior against his female fans. But we gotta keep it moving. We'll keep it in the mainstream for now, but we'll go underground for the next one after that. But we can't have this list without the Headley guy. You're talking about underage, SA, you're talking about all the most disgusting things that someone could be accused of. That's this guy right here. And apparently his trial keeps getting delayed because of COVID, but here's to hoping it happens soon, and he's put away for a very, very long time. But if you've been watching this channel for a long time, you know I more commonly talk about the hardcore scene, and you can't have an entry here without talking about somebody from the hardcore scene. Jim Hesketh, the vocalist from Champion, was accused of being a child predator in 2016. I'm just gonna go over here to this punknews.org article from that year, where it says, Jim Hesketh, the former singer of Champion and current singer of True Identity, has been accused of being a child predator. A Washington woman named Charlie Stone posted a message stating that Hesketh tried to assault her when she was 14, and that 10 to 15 other people had informed her that Hesketh had assaulted them. If you want to read Charlie Stone's full statement, I'll leave a link in the description, but it starts off like this. This is the scariest thing I had to write about on Facebook. And then, yeah, it's pretty hefty. And then True Identity, the band that he was in, they put out a statement as well, being like, as we're sure many of you have read, some very serious allegations have been brought forward against our former singer Jim. Needless to say, these allegations have shaken us to the core. It goes on to say that they parted ways with Jim, and instead of continuing on the band without him, they just dissolved the whole thing altogether. Because if this band has painful memories associated in fans' minds, they just want to get rid of that as much as possible. And I think that's a beautiful thing. But we can't talk about monsters in the scene without talking about Dahvie Vanity. This guy was prolific. This guy had receipt after statement after allegation after Chris Hansen interview. You know, this thing went on and on forever and ever. But if you want the whole files on this guy, you can check out this video over here on YouTube by Repsion. He did a really great job in this upload called the Dahvie Vanity File. But you saw the title, almost 400 bad people in the scene are documented right here on this banned accusation Google Doc sheet. Everybody knows that this stuff runs rampant in the scene, and it's kind of the most disgusting thing about it. But your stomach really sinks when you see a list, a Google document spreadsheet with over 337 entries. I'll leave the link for this in the description too. It's really good, and it also has the same disclaimer as this video has, that these are all just allegations, and here are all the sources here on the side. So I can't say that I'm just talking about this for profit and I'm providing all the sources. You just need to know that I know about all this shit that goes on, and that being in the scene doesn't mean that you endorse any of this stuff. And all that shit that went down with Warped Tour and everything in the scene that revolves around this subject matter really sours everybody on the culture as a whole. And it's fucking disgusting and it's awful. And I'm not too sure when the last time this list was updated, but there's no Johnny O'Callahan on here. The McCafferty guy's not on here. I gotta say, there are some names on here I didn't know about. Not particularly shocked to see their names here. You know, the guy from Mom Jeans, didn't know about that. The guy from Good Charlotte, I didn't know about that. Ollie Sykes, yeah, I remember that one. There's not enough time in the world to go through all 337 of these entries, but it's here if you want to go through it yourself. I know this was a different kind of video than what you're used to here on the channel, but I really wanted to try something new, so I hope it doesn't come across as like disingenuous or whatever. And I promise we'll be back to having some serious fun very shortly. So until my next upload, watch another upload.